Sister Edith. Woman of words, wisdom, wonder. October 18, 1946, Blanche Seltzler echoed her first cries in Strasburg, North Dakota. She was born to Pius and Catherine Seltzler, the first of 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls, who would later grow up in Bismarck. Blanche attended Catholic school, graduated from Priory High, and entered Annunciation Monastery as a postulant December 8, 1964. She became a novice June 15, 1965, and was given the name Sister Edith after a 10th century Benedictine saint, Saint Edith of Wilton, who became her patron. After graduating from then Mary College and teaching elementary grades in Catholic schools, Sister Edith went on to earn a master's degree in biblical studies from Aquinas Institute and began her 25-year teaching ministry at the University of Mary, where she became a gifted and much-loved teacher. She loved her students, and she loved her family. She raved about her sister's artistic talents. She talked about the generosity and accomplishments of her brothers, whether those be in food preparation and presentation or in designer airbrushing. She was so proud of all of them. She loved to recall summer vacations every year to her grandparents' farm in Canada, where family reunions took place, making her cousins more like brothers and sisters, as close as you could be 600 miles away. The family would pack into a 1956 Bel Air wagon and head north. They never stopped at a restaurant, but always picnicked at rest areas along the way. Those memories brought much joy to Edith as she shared them with us, more than once. Sister Edith, words. Sister Edith had a gift for words, as you can see in the text of this poetic expression of God's love and our response on the back of the memorial cards. Do take time to read it. It expresses well the spirit of its author. Sister Edith had strong convictions and knew how to put them out in front of you in an animated way. When she talked to you or to a class, she had a way of pulling you into the story. People were drawn to her like a mother hen gathering her chicks. If you asked her a question, she always had 5 things for you to look up. She would draw you to sources or give you more detail than you wanted to know. Edith had a brilliant mind and a wealth of information. She was filled with knowledge. She just wanted to share it. Never condescending, never putting people down. Her mind for facts and particular elements was uncanny. She saw the design in everything and appreciated the line, the form, the color in beautiful things. She could tell you in detail the detailed detail of a building, a flower, a process, a painting. As one sister put it, between Sister Edith and Father Daniel, we have the whole encyclopedia. Sister Edith loved and expressed our history beautifully. She would be called when architects arrived seeking information on Breuer architecture and the Bell Banner. She was also called when interviews were needed. After 9/11, when prejudice and oppression toward Muslims rose, Sister Edith spent 2 hours on a radio talk show speaking about Islam. Shortly after that, she received a call from a Muslim man who said he had never heard anyone speak so eloquently about their religion, and invited her to his home to dine with his family. Soon after, she was honored as friend of the Islamic community of North Dakota and presented with a beautiful Quran. Edith understood the universality of the search for God, whatever path a person may be on, in whatever religious tradition. One year, she was invited to make a presentation to University of Mary faculty about welcoming people of other faiths. Sister Edith held a deep appreciation, particularly for the three Abrahamic religions, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. She loved to teach. Over her years at the University of Mary, some of the courses she taught were Religions of the World, Wisdom and Songs, Gospels, Jesus the Christ, Celebrating the Sacred, Church History, both the Hebrew and Christian Scriptures. In any area, she could teach what was needed, even Hebrew. As part of our formation program here at the monastery, we newer members had Sister Edith as our teacher for Benedictine history. She made it fun and delighted in exposing us to some of the more esoteric Benedictine saints with names like Walburga, Willabalda, Ermengarde, Kunigunda, Willibrod. We cringed, thinking back to the early days of the order, where names were chosen and given by the priors at reception, that we could have been hung with one of these. However, Edith's love for history taught us to love those saints. She loved all of them. Over the years, Edith wrote intercessions for feast days and Sundays, and was part of the committee that created the communal prayer books we use 3 times a day. The past few years found Edith writing profiles of our own deceased sisters. She knew many of them personally, so could put a homey personal touch to her narratives. Edith chose words carefully and used them well. Wisdom. Wisdom was born out of suffering for Sister Edith. She carried her cross of cancer and the pain it brought bravely and graciously. Some days it was nearly there, and other days a blockage nearly crushed her to the ground. But she never loaded that cross on anyone else's shoulders. She embraced suffering, and out of the lessons suffering taught her, wisdom was born. Sophia, or Chokmah, as she might say, the Hebrew version of Sophia, meaning wisdom. Out of these lessons, Edith was able to share so eloquently in our monastery publication, Tidings, in 2011, that she drew inspiration from another wisdom source that we heard tonight, St. Paul's letter to the Philippians. For me to live is Christ, but to die is gain. As the meaning of this phrase seeped into her cells, Sister Edith quit worrying about her future and found peace in surrendering to whatever would come, choosing to leave all in God's hands, trusting in His loving care in the midst of this mystery. She said that whatever would please God would please her. She found pain and suffering 2 different things. No one, she said, can escape pain completely, whether physical, mental, or spiritual. But suffering is an inside job. It's how you handle pain mentally and spiritually. Wisdom. Wonder. Sister Edith was blessed with many gifts and talents. She had a lovely singing voice and sang in the sisters' choir. She could knit, crochet, sew, draw, paint. She knew just how to repair statues and broken items. She also designed graphic art for Sunday bulletins for 9 years for liturgical publications. We use her clip art in our worship aids every Sunday and will for years to come. Her art is tasteful and expressive of the particular readings for which it was created. Sister Edith also designed a logo for ECOS, Environmental Coalition of Students, the environmental club at the University of Mary. This logo has been used on posters, recycling bins, and flyers. She designed our Easter candles and Jubilee candles, some displayed in Christian art shows in recent years. Her Easter candle burns brightly during this Easter season, and I think it burns especially bright tonight. Over the years, her cards and other creative items were sold in our monastery gift shop, and each of us has a stone lettered by Sister Edith bearing our name. Shortly, you will hear a wonderful tradition that we have associated with our individual stones. Sister Edith was also a good cook. She loved to bake jams, special cookies with fruited filling. She created international dishes and sometimes made special meals for the theology department during her teaching days. I am told she would create a centerpiece and something special to serve with coffee at departmental meetings. She loved hospitality, one of our Benedictine values. In recent years, she bought special crackers at the dollar store, and she loved to share them. She would make coffee in the kitchenette for breaks, while relishing good conversation with Sister Helen Killingsdale. And now they are together. In 1878, sisters came to Dakota Territory and later built on this hill, using stone as a sign of permanence. Sister Edith came here, and in her person became a rock-solid Benedictine. She integrated her theology and her Benedictineness. They were not compartmentalized. She modeled the Benedictine monastic for us because she lived and breathed the life. We knew her as warm, loving, generous, and gentle. Never loud, boisterous, or slapstick. She was interesting to talk to, had a strong artistic spirit, and was respectful of and to others. She went about her quiet way, and you were pulled in by her goodness. She also had a quick and clever sense of humor. After numerous cancer surgeries, she quipped with a sparkle in her eye, "My plumbing is now entirely outdoors." Sister Edith leaves us with words, with wisdom, and with wonder at what she now knows, sees, and enjoys. Jesus said, "You who love me will be loved by my Father. I too will love you and reveal for Sister Edith that is now accomplished. Alleluia.